Hello Bounty and Soul community, my name is Lyric. I'm a local farmer and educator here to unpack today's market box. This is an example of some of the produce that will be going out today, Friday, May 29th at Bounty and Soul's no-cost market. This is not everything that's going out at market, it's just an example. I'm sure you'll find some other things in your box, and maybe not all of these things in your box, but I'm just here to provide some nutrition information and storage tips and recipe ideas so that you can best enjoy this food. Let's get started. First thing I see popping out of my box is a giant piece of local focaccia bread. This is from Annie's Bakery. If you're not familiar with this type of bread, you can use it for a lot of different things. It's a little on the thicker side. You can see it's very fluffy. It's herbed, so it has basil and different herbs in it, and some olive oil. So it would be great to slice it in half and then use those two halves as a sandwich bread, like a thinner sandwich bread. You can also eat it on its own, use it as a dipping bread if you make like a nice soup, or just as a side to a salad. I have a beautiful head of locally grown lettuce. This is from Dr. John D. Wilson Community Garden in Black Mountain. It still has some soil on it, so I know it is freshly plucked from the earth, which is really exciting. We have so much local lettuce right now from Dr. John D. Wilson Community Garden and from Root Cause Farm and Backyard Gardens as well, from Warren Wilson College. Lettuce is just abounding, which is really exciting. I'm gonna be doing a video for creative ways that you can enjoy lettuce beyond salads. Salads are great. You can check out my salad dressing video recently posted on the Facebook page, making dressings out of market box ingredients. But there's more to lettuce than just salads, so you can stay tuned for lots of different ideas for how to enjoy your lettuce. Lettuce is a really cooling food. It has a lot of water in it, which makes it very cooling, which is great for the hot summertime like today. It also has a lot of vitamins like manganese, vitamin A, vitamin K, folate, vitamin C. It is loaded up, so I'm really excited for y'all to enjoy lettuce. You want to store this in your fridge, either in a Tupperware or at least in the crisper drawer to keep it nice and fresh and not start wilting. Beautiful organic collard greens. These are, wow, these are some big collard greens. These would be great for a wrap. You can either use them raw or blanch them, meaning dunk them in boiling water real quick to soften them a little bit, make them a little more tender, and then wrap a rice dish, maybe like a tofu curry, your No Evil Foods plant-based sausage, a hash, anything like that would be great to wrap up in this, like a burrito, like a green burrito. That would be really good. You can also cook these up as you would like spinach or kale. You add them to soups, stir fries, all that jazz. They have a lot of nice fiber and vitamin A. Wow, just look at these. It's bigger than my face. I have a big bag of Brussels sprouts. You want to store these in the fridge as well. When you prepare these to cook, you want to cut off the hard bottom where the Brussels sprout was connected to the plant. And then my preferred way to cook them is to actually slice them in half before sauteing or roasting especially. I know some folks really don't like Brussels sprouts, and I found a common theme is that they've only eaten them whole, not sliced in half. When you slice them in half, you really like open up a whole world of texture that you're not getting on just from eating the outside, because there's layers inside and it can get nice and crispy if you roast it. So go ahead and try slicing them in half before you cook them if you've never really enjoyed Brussels sprouts before, you just want to try something new. I have some pickling cucumbers. These are exactly what they sound like. They're cucumbers that are great for making pickles. Pickles are made from cucumbers of all types, but these are one of them. So you can make whole pickles with these, like that would be just about this size, or you could slice them up into rounds and make pickles that way. There's quite a few different ways to make pickles, and you can find that information online. But these are also great to eat raw if you're not feeling up to the pickle challenge. You can just slice these. They have a really good crunch because ideal cucumbers for pickling are firmer on the inside. They're not as soft because they would get mushy in the pickling process. So these are really nice and crunchy. They'd be great for a snack for a kid, to add to like lunches if you're going to work or something like that, or to just slice up and put them on a salad. I have a green bell pepper. This is great to eat raw as an addition to salads, or chopped finely like as a topping, or cooked in any sort of saute or soup or something like that. Anything you would use a different color pepper for, you could use a green pepper for. The flavor will just be a little bit different. Peppers of all kinds, especially bell peppers, are really high in vitamin C, so that's a reason to eat them raw sometimes, because some vitamin C can be cooked off in the heating process. So that makes them a great candidate for a raw salad. You can store this in the fridge, and your veggie drawer would be good. And once it starts to get like a little bit soft, that's how you know it's really time to enjoy it. I have beautiful tomatoes, another great hydrating summer food. These are full of antioxidants, vitamin C. These would be great sliced up raw on a sandwich, like a focaccia and lettuce tomato sandwich. That would be really good. Maybe some avocado or like something creamy on there. That would be great. You can also cook these. You could slice them into a soup or a stew, or a roasted tomatoes. That'd be really yummy. Or sauces. Lots of options for your tomatoes, and you want to store these in the fridge as well. Right now they have a really good firmness. If they were to get soft, like more soft to the touch, then that's when they're getting to be really ready to enjoy. A very shiny apple. If you didn't catch my salad dressings video, there's an apple vinaigrette dressing in there. That would be a great way to enjoy some apples, especially if you've been getting lots of apples from Bounty and Soul like I have. It's a great way to use up a bunch in a big batch. You can store these at room temperature. They'll actually keep for quite some time. Even in a darker, cooler place like a pantry would be good. And there's a lot of good fiber in that peel, so make sure you don't throw away the peel. I have a zucchini and a yellow squash. Both of these are types of summer squash, so they're squash that are grown in the summer and that have a soft rind, so you could like pierce this with your fingernail, whereas you can't really do that so much with a hard squash, a winter squash like an acorn squash. So these are both types of summer squash. You'll hear this one most commonly referred to as just summer squash or yellow squash, and then this one is zucchini. You can tell the difference because they have very different color skins. But you can use them in quite the same way in a lot of the same recipes. So if you're new to either of these foods, go ahead and experiment with some of the same cooking methods. You can find some recipes for these on the Bounty and Soul website. Both of these have, they're both hydrating foods. They have a lot of water in them. They're really high in vitamin B6, and there's some good protein in here too. And last but not least, I have a beautiful yellow onion. This will add a lot of flavor and dimension to any of my dishes. You can eat yellow onion raw or cooked. I prefer it cooked. Personally, I like a red onion for more of a raw onion, but I'm not too picky about my onions. I love onion in everything. And you want to store these not too close to potatoes, because each one can make the other spoil faster. So that's a good tip, but you can store this at room temperature, absolutely. If you chop into it and only use part of it, then you can just store the rest in the fridge at that time. You don't need to leave it sliced open on the counter. A tip that I have for onions is I'll actually, whenever I cut open an onion to use, I'll chop the entire thing and then store it chopped up in a Tupperware. And then I can just kind of grab and go little handfuls of chopped onion and throw them into my dishes, because I put onion in most things. So here is all of the beautiful food that came out of my market box today, Friday, May 29th. I hope this provided some insight for how you can best enjoy this food. Feel free to comment with your favorite recipes or what you're most excited about from your box. And you can reach out with any questions you have. My contact will be in the description of this video. Have a beautiful day.